brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It sips, suds, and smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Suds, suds, suds. It's time for more suds.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Suds segment where good beer meets really bad radio.
I'm not going to say anything in the intro, by the way.
Except that he just did. I'm your hostess, good old gal Julieanna, and with me today are, and I'm so excited about this, good old boy Dave.
Wow, I didn't know you were so excited to see me.
Well, not necessarily you. No.
Figures.
Reverend Mark.
Yay, it's so good to be here. 2017. Can't wait to get into this.
Yay. El Jefe. Good old boy Mike.
That applause was not for Mike.
Well, that was me, even though I'm going to cough my way through this.
We get this man a lozenge.
Yes, folks. Good old boy Mike, you know how he travels a lot. Mm-hmm. He just happened to be in Cuba recently, and he's still enjoying an extra cigar or two.
I don't think that's from the cigars.
And good old boy Kendall, hey.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here with you and Reverend Mark.
Yay.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Not Michael.
I didn't even get the short list up on it, Dave. Not sitting to my stage left is good old boy Kendall.
Feeling is very mutual.
I'm going to hide all of your beer. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, today's episode is a brewery takeover. You know how we're big fans of brewery takeovers here. And today's takeover is Funkwerks from beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado. We first discovered Funkwerks at GABF in 2014 when their Raspberry Provincial took a gold medal. Once we got a sample of it, we started off on a frantic search to find some before we left the state.
How many bottles do you think of Raspberry Provincial we've dusted off? I know I've had at least 4.
Not nearly enough.
I know. That is a really good beer.
It is. Yeah.
And I don't like raspberry. So
that's true. We have that on tape.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. That says an awful lot about how good that beer was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So our frantic search. We left Denver in a van loaded with beer. And
is that all?
Yes.
Okay.
For the purposes of the show, beer was the only contraband on that show, on that van, other than me.
I can already tell what this section needs. It needs good road trip music. So cue the road trip music.
Wow.
Anywho. Okay. So, so we left Denver, frantically searching for Raspberry Provincial. Not so frantic that we couldn't stop at a few breweries along our way. But as Julie and I end up doing on most of our vacations, we ended up stopping at several liquor stores looking for obscure beers. And I will have to say that it was about the third liquor store on the outskirts of Fort Collins, Colorado, where I had, for the last hour before that, already given up and was ready to get on the road. But Julie determinedly fought through a despondent Broncos fan watching them lose in the last 5 minutes of a game. And looking back through a cooler, she dug around and found 2 bottles of Raspberry Provincial.
Yes. My
And
proudest
we were
moments.
so happy.
Thrill of the kill.
Oh, I was. And that Broncos fan behind the counter, he had no idea. Like, I'm jumping up and down with, like, excitement and, like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like, I won the lottery, and he's just...
It was the timing of it all, since, that beer had just been released, and they had just won, literally like that week.
And that's what every liquor store said. They were like, look, we've been picked clean of this stuff. But there in the back of that cooler, as if an angel or a unicorn or an angel riding a unicorn had stashed it for us.
Dave, look. You really know how to make a short, amusing anecdote feel like an uncle's long, boring vacation with really bad music. I mean, he used to tell us the same crappy story every Thanksgiving. All we're missing, frankly, are a few slides, at this point with catchy music.
Do you guys want to see the slides?
No, negative.
Dude, okay, you're cut off now. Please. Kendall, save us here. Why don't you start telling us about Funkwerks?
Okay, this is from their website. In 2007, Gordon Shuck's recipe design and brewing skills resulted in a gold medal winning Saison at the National Homebrew Competition. Brad Lincoln first experienced craft beer while working as an accountant in Portland, Oregon.
Hi, Brad.
And the two met during the winter of 2009 while attending the Siebel Institute and studying brewing science. After being immersed in beer for the better part of 5 months, the two graduated and shared a desire to open a brewery.
Do you think that class is in German? Und you will put the yeast in the barrel. You stir it. It's a what?
That sounded not German.
A little German.
Something.
He started German, but then he almost went to Japanese.
Yes,
something.
I know.
It was weird.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously.
Either way, there would probably be a lot of hitting and
Do you think that they yell
yelling.
at you in German? At the Siebel Institute.
I think they have to yell in Germany. It's like part of the Reinheitsgebot.
Yes, we will write you a citation for violating the Reinheitsgebot.
There you go. I'm sorry.
It's just
So
fun to
back
say
to the brewery.
Reinheitsgebot.
So these guys decided to open a brewery, and that resulted in the Saison Focus Brewery that is Funkwerks. Saisons originated as Belgian farmhouse ales brewed for farm workers to enjoy during summer months, usually having a dry, complex, and fruity aroma. Saisons today are
Much
brewed.
like Mike.
He's not so fruity today.
Saisons are
Overly
brewed
ripe.
year-round, and they generally have a high alcohol percentage than their original versions. Although Funkwerks' niche style is Saisons, Funkwerks experiments with a range of Belgian-style beers and have several barrel projects in progress now, including Oud Bruin, Bourbon Barrel-Aged Quad, and other experimentals. Funkwerks was awarded 5 medals in 4 years. In 2011, Funkwerks' flagship Saison was awarded a silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival. In 2012, Funkwerks was named Small Brewing Company of the Year and received 2 gold medals for Saison and Deceit, a Belgian-style Golden Strong. Deceit was also awarded a silver medal at the 2014 World Beer Cup. And in 2014, the Raspberry Provincial, which we know and love, won a gold medal at the GABF.
Raspberry Provincial. That reminds me, did I ever tell you guys about that long search Julie and I went on looking for Raspberry Provincial in 2014?
Maybe like 2 minutes ago. That long story with PowerPoint slides.
I never got to show you the slides, though.
No animation.
Seriously?
We can imagine.
Seriously.
Whatever, dude.
Stop it. All right. Here's today's lineup. Cascade, single hopped, Saison. Galaxy, single hopped, Saison. Punch, red wine, barrel aged, Saison. Got a theme here? Deceit, Belgian style golden ale. And then the piece de resistance, the 2015 rum barrel aged Deceit.
Oh.
There's that.
Got a little evil there at the end.
Well, because it's Deceit. Speaking of that,
Yeah, speaking of deceit,
What?
Reverend Mark, would you please do us the honor of the Suds ratings for us?
Be most pleased. We'll be discussing and rating these beers with these Suds ratings, plus our own signature belching sounds accented with R's.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Number 1. That sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Number 2. Was that a belch? Number 3. What a relief. Number 4. A body should really not make that sound. And number 5. Listen to that hang time. Give me another.
well done, Pirate Reverend Mark.
I know. You're going to have so many titles by the end of this episode. So, pirate, Reverend Mark. Would you like to begin with the first beer of the day?
Yes, of this fine flight of 5. And I tell you what, it really is kind of like choosing your favorite child or something. I'd have to rate my top beer as Deceit, which is my namesake. Of course, I know I've been told just now.
The deceitful Reverend Pirate Mark.
Wow, dude.
It is described on the Funkwerks website as a beer that has been inspired by Belgian triples and golden ales. It's a Belgian-style golden that is deceptively palatable because the alcohol percentage is masked by the complex characteristics that are introduced by unique Belgian yeast strains. Well, I won't read the rest because I have my own description of this beer as it struck my palate. The base malt really hits you first with a semi-sweet and fruit goodness that is just unbelievable. But then all of a sudden, it closes with a dry and somewhat spicy conclusion that just leaves you wanting so much more. It really does strike my palate as a classic Trappist triple, like a Carmelite in some ways. It just, I thought it was a really good base beer from which I could evaluate all of these others, at least most of the others. So for me, at least, give me some Deceit.
What was your Suds rating?
A 5.
We'll be right back after this brief break.
And it makes the real good taste, and it's good for the conservation.
Okay, so it preserves. So there are no chemicals added.
We have in Bavaria the purity law, which says that we have only 4 things in beer is allowed to give inside: water, hops, yeast, and malt.
Rolling clouds and crashing surf, iridescent dunes reflecting by the light of a rising, glowing moon. Seashore mesmerizing, night breeze hypnotizing. We've come across these back roads none too soon. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling. Wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows. My hand is yours forever.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the middle of discussing a very deceitful beer from Funkwerks. Get it?
Boo.
Whatever. Okay. Good old boy Mike, what were your thoughts about Deceit?
Well, so my own tasting notes here on Deceit from Funkwerks, I wrote down kind of a strange citrus, bitter, sweet. I thought that the fruit overtone on this was actually distracting. I just, the base, yeast and malt really just, I thought we're just getting blown away by whatever was going on outside of that. I don't know. I wrote down kind of dazed and confused about this. My Suds rating for this is a 2.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Sorry.
Jeez.
In your face.
Good old boy Kendall, what did you think?
As it warmed up, I liked it a little more. I thought it had those great characteristics of a good Belgian triple, like Reverend Marcus talked about. At first, I noticed very grainy, almost bread-like malt character to it, with a nice little black pepper spice in the finish. I was getting a little pear and apple, some lemon and other citrus characteristics out of it, and I enjoyed the beer. And one of the things I noticed was it is so smooth. It's at 8.5%. It's dangerous because you really can't sense much alcohol to it. There's just a touch, but it finishes really clean and smooth. And I enjoyed the beer, but it probably was my least favorite beer of the flight, and it was a 3 to me.
Well, I'm going to
Julie?
help.
Well,
I'm
help me out here.
Yeah, I am going to help you out, deceitful Reverend Mark, pirate.
Wow,
I'm trying to tell you the truth, but it's only the truth according to me this morning, apparently.
a woman and the woman and the clergyman like Deceit the most. Imagine that.
Which one of us is being the most deceitful on our review?
I thought the bottle was missing a whole pear being stuffed into it. So
I'm not going to be as eloquent as Reverend Mark. But I did, first of all, it's a perfect name for this beer. It is very deceitful because I can't believe that it's 8.5%. I still can't believe it as it's warming up. I'm getting some breadiness. I like the fruit aspect of it. And to me, this is a really nice base beer for everything else that we tried, just like Reverend Mark said. I enjoyed it, and I gave it a 4.
So, Dave, if you give it a 1, we're all over the board.
It all hangs on you.
All up to me.
wow, I would never tell Dave that ever.
Your fate is in my hands. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I'm not a huge fan of the style to begin with, but it's as far as an 8% beer goes, it's actually very drinkable. I liked it enough to finish the cup, which really doesn't say much for me, but I gave it a 3.
Well, there's
Right.
that. Okay, moving
Middle
on.
of the road, buddy.
Interesting.
Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Let's do the math on all that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no. There's beer involved. I can't do math and beer.
Okay, moving on to another form of deceit. Good old boy Mike.
So I'm going to be talking about Deceit aged in rum barrels in the spirit of pirate talk. Arr, you matey.
It helps that he has
to the bar. We're going to be having Deceit aged in rum barrels from 2015. Arr, this style is a barrel aged Belgian style golden ale. Arr, the ABV is 9%. Arr, you and your mateys are going to get blown off this one. Our award-winning Belgian style golden ale that we just talked about Deceit was.
He's making me cough.
I'm going to get through this. Our award-winning Belgian golden style was aged in the oak rum barrel, in strong, deceptively strong, smooth brew. This beer pours a beautiful golden color with alluring aromas because most pirates are alluring. Spicy notes of flavor are complicated by this tantalizing and complex characteristics pulled from the rum barrels because that's what we like, pirates. Arr. This pairs well with eye patches and peg legs. Arr.
Hey, Mike, we weren't recording. Can you do that again?
Negative. No. So, yes, a man of 1,000 voices in my own head. So, my own tasting notes here on Deceit. I wrote down, oh my God, this is just so good. I love the pineapple and the sweet tropical notes of fruit off this. It's really well balanced. And what's strange is I really can't believe these are off the same base beer.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they really don't even taste anything like each other at all. We had an event very recently, a huge bottle share, and this was actually one of the bottles that I brought, and I never had it before, and it ended up being one of my favorite bottles from that evening. We probably had at least 150 different beers, in that particular bottle share, easily. It's a solid 4 for me. I really love this. It was a great beer.
Go to Boy Kendall. What'd you think?
I'm right there with Reverend Mike. Like I said.
But Pirate Mike. It was Pirate Mike. That's what you wanted to say.
Yeah, I totally screwed that one up, didn't I? How about
have another swig of beer with some rum.
Dr. Mike?
Yeah, there we go.
Captain Mike?
Dr. Mike.
We're both dealing in deceit.
Yeah. Anyway, let me get back on track. I do agree with Mike on this one. I enjoyed it much better than the regular Deceit. It really changed the beer. It was smoother. It was more complex. There was a great, almost a little bit of rum sweetness, and I really picked up some coconut in this as well. And I thought it was a much improved beer by being in the rum barrel, and it's a very solid 4.
I'm right there with you guys. Like, this was a completely different beer
Are
to
you
me.
going to do your pirate talk?
Or give me a title.
Yeah. Is he the peg leg Kendall? That's what he is.
Captain Kendall.
Walk the plank, yes.
I'm walking. Sorry. I'm the damsel in distress. I'm the
Oh,
girl
yes.
of the group, right? You have me tied up and I'm walking down the plank,
Wow.
waiting for somebody to save me. Somewhere? No.
I'm just going to sit in the corner and drink beer.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree with you guys. It was a completely different beer to me. It was almost like drinking a fruited drink, like, a fruited cocktail. It just was so much sweeter and so like pineapple and coconut. I didn't get a lot of rum, but I got like a really slight hint of rum, but it just, the breadiness was now gone, and it just was like this beautiful, smooth fruit smoothie almost. I know that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I enjoyed it and gave it a 4. Good old boy, Dave.
Every year I shine up my jingle bells.
That is not a pirate talk.
I just wanted to do something different. So I really like this beer.
That could be Dave's entire theme song right there in life.
Shining up
I
my
just
jingle
wanted
bells.
to do something different.
I thought you meant shining up my jingle bells.
No.
As much as everyone knows, I hate agreeing with Mike, and it physically pains me to do it.
Yes.
Is that why you're beet red?
It's just it's the pain. Yes, it's building up inside me.
Wow.
No, actually, I do find that the rum barrel did add a lot of good flavor and complexity to the original Deceit. I like the additional sweetness from the rum, and I gave this beer a 4. Reverend Mark.
All right. Well,
The only
even though this
Reverend
this
at the
may
table.
sound counterintuitive, I, as you know, rated the base beer of Deceit the highest, at least of the flight from myself. But I will say that this adds some very interesting notes that have already been expanded upon here. Certainly, the tropical fruit aspect kind of carries the weight. I also think that in comparing the rum barrel Deceit to just the base beer or the base Deceit, to me also distinguishes a difference in my thinking, in my beer logic, between craft beer and boutique beer. This is a boutique. This is something that is literally set aside, and it gains some complexity because of the effort. So the rum aspect in the barrel comes through. Not terribly boozy, but just enough there to, wake you up a bit. So I thought it was delightful. This also was one of the bombers that was brought to me when I performed a wedding back in October, having to miss the GABF that particular weekend. So thank you, Wendy and Ted, for bringing this to me from Fort Collins. And anyway, so this was one of the 4 bombers that they brought me. And so I'll give it a high rating just because of the sentimental value, but also because it's a darn good beer. So I will give it a 4.
Reverend Mark's a sentimental
That was
pirate.
kind of deceitful.
Yes, mother, I love you, but walk to the plank, please.
We've had some interesting discussions, about whether, barrel-aged beer actually improves exponentially. And, I think we've had so many products like this where we've gone from a base product to something that's, in the barrel. And I think we've become accustomed to that conversation. Is it adding something, to the base beer? Is it complementing it? Is it holding its hand? Is it taking your palate along a journey that it would not normally have gone, and is that actually a good journey or not? And I thought that was this was an example where, at least for me, I thought certainly the base beer improved dramatically, with the barrel aging. I think on whole, I think about kind of the topic alone, that barrel aging has like a marginal improvement, over a lot of base beers. It definitely does something, very different, and sometimes different in not a good way.
This beer smells funky. Can I have a new one, please?
Yeah. I don't know. Did you guys really think, do you think they actually went into this going, I think we're going to make a rum barrel version, or did they just have some rum barrels around and they said, I think we should drop a few, some of this, in a rum barrel?
A lot of places they just kind of have to get what barrels they can get, because there's so many breweries that want barrels these days, that sometimes you just have to source and see what's available.
I don't know about them though. They seem very methodical in their barrel placement of certain beers, if that makes any sense. And I think that to me, this is a natural progression of things. Like I couldn't imagine this in any other barrel but a rum barrel, if that makes any sense. Because you already had some fruitiness to start off with in this beer. And I think, maybe they just were thinking rum would be perfect for this because it would bring out that pineapple tropical fruitiness even more.
Yes, I think certainly more so than, say, bourbon, even though that would probably be pretty good. But yeah.
Maybe they just sit around and drink pints of this and do shots of different liquors.
And talking pirate talk.
See which one.
Maybe they're pirates in disguise.
Maybe. Mountain pirates.
Okay, moving on. Let's get to the good beers, Kendall.
Oh, wow. So you're saying, so Reverend Mark and I didn't have good beers. I love that.
You did have good beers,
beers.
But come on.
Holy cow.
This is the hop side.
Man.
Yeah, this is the hop side, and this was my favorite beer of the flight. It was a tropical bomb. That is the Galaxy single hop Saison with an ABV of 7.1%. The description is a single hop. It says brewing single hop Saisons give us opportunity to focus on the unique qualities of one hop, and we are able to accentuate the best characteristics of a single ingredient. Galaxy hops, which I'm going to parentheses here. I love those in beer. Great flavors. But they are known for tropical fruit flavors, so we added passion fruit just for fun. Passion fruit juice just for fun. So, yeah, you get a lot of passion fruit, tropical fruits out of Galaxy hops. Yeah. And, boy, you can taste this. It's not just passion fruit, but I was getting some mango out of it. Definitely some citrus notes as well. It had just a light, even black pepper on the finish, but it was crisp, citrusy, and dry, and just a beautiful tropical delight. Almost need to put a little mini umbrella in this one because it's so had the flavor of the islands.
Serve this from the tiki bar?
Yeah, good tiki bar beer. But yeah, definitely a lot of tropical fruit going on. I loved it. It's a 5.
Well with alien abductions.
I know. I was just going to talk about that. So everyone thinks of passion fruit when they abduct an alien. I just haven't done that in my life yet. Alien passions. Sure, that makes sense. Okay, so these are pirates
probes
that like aliens. This is a movie just waiting to happen.
Not a very good one.
Kind of like Dave's slides.
Yeah, kind of. Anyways, I thought this was great. Again, a fan of Galaxy, but I think a lot of people here at the table are a fan of Galaxy hops in their beer. But great flavor. I mean, it was not... Sometimes when I think of a single hop beer, I think of like almost a pungency at times, because like they overload on hops. This one was just perfectly balanced to me. Just the right amount, great flavor, a great fruit flavor. And yeah, there was like a slight hint of spice at the end, but I think it just went really well with the beer. And I gave this a 4. Good boy, Dave.
I I like this beer. I wonder if you would have gotten more from the Galaxy if you had not added passion fruit juice, because I get mostly passion fruit juice. So it's kind of hard, and I don't have the palate that Kendall does, but it's kind of hard for me to pick out different things. But overall, it's a good beer. I'd drink a bottle of it, but again, that's not saying much for me. So I will give this beer a 4.
Pirate, deceitful, Reverend Mark, what's your take?
I'll try not to deceive you on my notes here, but first of all, sometimes I'm a little bit curious, even dubious about single hop beers. Sometimes they work. Of course, in addition to the Galaxy single hop type beer projects, there's Mosaic and Citra, and those work out sometimes fine and sometimes not. I think this approach worked mostly. I think that the addition of the juice helped to accentuate what is going on with the Galaxy hops. The only thing I would ding it on is that I think there's some caramel in it that I think is pushing back against the vibrancy of the tropics. So that's the only thing that I see that detracts from all that coming forward. But it's excellent beer, and this one I'll give a 3.
Okay.
So have you guys noticed, Galaxy is this one and Cascade is the other one? Is it just me, or do hop names and stripper names seem to go hand in hand?
Yes.
Coming up to the main stage,
I've
Galaxy.
always wanted my
Motuka.
I want my stripper name to be Mosaic.
I want to be struck blind the day you become a stripper.
So should you combine like your favorite hop, this street number, and your favorite color?
Oh gosh, to be continued. Hold on, folks. We'll be back.
But baby, the whole elation riding down this lover's avenue, as slow as the willow blows, or as fast as the whirlwind grows, we glide beneath the stars in cobalt blue. Look to the left, to the right, keep your eyes on the road, my darling, wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows, my hand is yours forever, sweet love. Our eyes ahead on these back roads with a view.
Welcome back, folks.
We're just talking about strippers and playing with a light bulb.
They go together.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so moving on. Good old boy Mike, what was your take on this beer?
So my stage name today is Galaxy17 Black.
I have
appearing Sundays at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.
I think the crickets ran away.
Yeah, that's all right. You think about, your combination of your hop name and your stripper name. All right. So
as you wear a Man United shirt.
I know.
Yeah,
that probably is not going to work well. So Galaxy single hop Saison from Funkwerks. My simple tasting notes around this. The thing that struck me about this first is you could smell this beer from 5 miles away. The aroma of this absolutely just completely obliterated everything else in this flight. You could smell this even before I picked it up off the table to check this out. I think probably the interesting variation off this was it reminds me a lot of characteristics of a red ale, or it has kind of a burnt sugar quality to it and a bitterness, which is very different. In fact, If I didn't know any better, I would say this is basically a red ale that's been hopped with Galaxy. It has a lot of those same characteristics. I think I've had a lot of, single variety, Galaxy beers. I don't think this probably is my favorite. And I think it's probably that, burnt sugar quality. It seems to be fighting, with the hop itself. I'm going to give this a 2. There are some other Galaxy beers that we've had. And there was one from, I want to say it was Anchorage Brewing.
Was that the Funky Galaxy?
Yeah,
something
the
Brett beer.
Yeah,
that
that was really good.
Yeah,
and I think that's an example of, where you have something where the Galaxy hop is really, coming through and is kind of the star of the show. I just didn't feel like that was what was going on with this particular beer.
Okay.
Well, then.
Well.
All right.
I feel confident now.
So, Julie, tell us about your favorite beer.
Yeah, okay. So, I would like to talk...
once again.
Yeah, there you go.
Ain't that the flippin' truth? Although...
It's all right, Dave. I got an extra room, buddy.
I want to talk about the Cascade Single Hop Saison.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. A little bit less ABV than the Galaxy. It is at 6.6%. Well recognized for notes of grapefruit and spice, the Cascade hop variety is a perfect complement for the fruit esters of Belgian-style Saisons. Cascade hops were released in the 1970s. That's why I'm enjoying this beer so much. And developed through open pollination of a Fuggle hop seedling, and is now the most popular hop variety in craft brewing. Maybe close to the most popular. Anyways, floral notes complemented by citrus fruit and a hint of spice, and it pairs well with chasing waterfalls. I'm not quite sure.
Don't go.
I know. I was just thinking of that. I'm like, TLC wouldn't be drinking this beer.
I think they had to be listening to that song while they were writing this background description. That's what it was.
Okay, so they're pirates that enjoy alien abductions while listening to TLC.
How do you chase a waterfall? It's not really. I guess you could jump off and chase it to the bottom, but probably doesn't end well.
Or it could.
I don't know.
If you're in Niagara Falls. I don't know. Anyways, I like this one a bit better than the Galaxy. I mean, no offense. But I thought this had better flavor, if you will. I got a little bit of a pininess to it too, but it reminded me so much of a true Saison almost. Like I was getting that real Saison-y, barn housey kind of flavor with it.
I like how you add a Y to the words, and it becomes an adjective.
It's a Julieism.
It's something.
Fine. That's all I'm going to say about this, but I thought this was a really good hop to explore with, and I like this one a lot, and I gave it a 4. I'm sure you'll do better, Dave.
And now, coming to the main stage, Cascade. See, it works. It could be a stripper, it could be a hop. That's why I like it, because either way, something's going to happen.
I like the way that Dave sold that. Actually, I could believe that would be Dave's stripper name.
Cascade?
No, it was the way you said it.
I would be Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Jeez.
Maybe Magnum.
What about experimental hop 142?
Where's the buzzer on that?
Sorry, buddy.
No,
Buzzer's
that is not happening. And there you go. Yeah.
Fuggle.
There you go. That's totally it. Now appearing on stage number 2, Fuggle.
Fuggles. Well then, I also enjoyed this beer, and I'm enjoying it now. I like this one a little better than the Galaxy, not just to appease Julieanna, but also genuinely because it's a little bit lighter in profile, and I just felt like it was a little drier. It had a nice finish to it. So I gave this one a 4.
Yay.
River Mark.
My turn? Okay.
Please provide your stripper name.
Yes, my stripper name is...
Oh, well, this will be good. Hang on a second, everybody. This is time to hit the record button.
Saz.
That's funny.
That
Or
was,
pizzazz.
that was awesome.
Saz.
Now appearing on stage number 3.
Saz.
Straight from the Eastern European fields.
Saz. I would add to what's been said, and so long as I don't have too many detractors and to ruin my career that I anticipate as I retire.
Bunch of backstabbers around here, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, sauce.
I would say I like this particular single hop approach more so than the Galaxy as well. Also, I like the fact that it is a lower ABV. I think it does really represent what the original Saison farmhouse beer was all about, lower in alcohol. And while I would not demote it entirely, even though it's not really a demotion, to the category of a lawnmower beer, I would find that of the 5 beers that we have sampled in this flight, that this is one beer that I could find myself drinking an entire bomber of instantly in the middle of July. Or maybe right now. I really liked the way it finished, very dry, very clean. And yeah, and I'm just a really big fan of Cascade. Most of the time I have a multiple hop regiment that I'm working with as a home brewer. And whenever it's an American style IPA or a pale ale, Cascade is a part of that. But I think it does complement the Saison, at least this particular one, in a good way.
Would you say Cascade dances across your palate?
Yeah. Well, I have to check with my attorney about that first. But
on the advice of counsel, Ryan.
River Mark declines to comment.
And so I would give this one gladly a 4.
I like how this family beer show is absolutely degraded so quickly, after probably 35 minutes. So, my notes here on Cascade Single Hop Saison from Funkwerks, I wrote down kind of bright citrus, tangy, lemon lime quality, kind of about this. Has like a slight bitter finish. Overall, when I even look, across both the Galaxy and the Cascade, and I've seen a lot of other brewers kind of, take this on and kind of create a single, hop, series. I don't know, just a little disappointed kind of overall. My Suds rating for the Cascade single hop is going to be a 3.
Kendall.
I think my hop/stripper name is Mount Hood.
Whoa!
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Now appearing on stage number 4, Mount Hood. Please don't rub his head.
Don't rub the peak.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Every year I shine up my jingle bell.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I enjoyed this beer, not as much as the Galaxy, but the first thing I thought when I smelled this beer is juicy fruit. I got aromas of juicy fruit and bubble gum and got that into flavor as well. Just some big fruit flavors going on. Very floral, a little bit grapefruit as you would expect from the Cascade. But enjoyable beer. You guys all said good things about it. I liked it too. It's a 4.
And now, last but certainly not least, what's your stage name there, Dave?
Well, I'm already...
Cascade.
Oh, it's Cascade.
No, I'm not
no.
Cascade.
I was Fuggles.
Well, I don't like that one.
Now you don't?
Who likes Fuggles? I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be Mosaic.
No.
Hallertau.
Willamette.
Northern Brewer.
East Kent Golding.
That's good. That's not bad. You'd have to say it with an accent, though. East Kent Golding.
Falconer's Flight.
Or Styrian Golden.
Apparently, we know a lot of hop names.
Yeah, I agree.
So, my beer that I'm going to talk about is Punch Red Wine Barrel Aged Saison with an ABV of 7.2%. Our flagship Saison had never been aged in oak before now, and our curiosity was piqued. We received 6 red wine puncheon barrels at the end of June and filled them with our Saison. A puncheon barrel is over twice the size of a regular oak wine barrel. Sitting for 2 months gives this beer subtle oak and red wine characteristics without being overpowering. Notes of passion fruit, ginger, black pepper, and red wine. Pairs well with starting your own Fight Club. And everyone knows the first rule of Fight Club.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Bam. First off, let me say that if I were ever to brew a beer and put it in a puncheon, I would name it Punchin' Judy. That's right. That was a pretty weak laugh, but whatever.
Wow.
Pretty weak laugh
ahead.
for a pretty weak joke.
It crickets. Yeah. There you go. Thanks,
All right.
Dave. See? It
Whatever,
works.
dude.
Yeah.
To me, I actually thought this was the best beer of the flight. Wow, whatever. Sure, you're not going to see a stripper named Punch. Like, well, if you do, you're probably not going to like the finale. Ooh, spit take. So,
how's that taste up the left nostril there? She's giving it a thumbs up. That's funny. Better.
You know, a beer's good if it tastes good through your nose.
Okay.
So, anyways, I just thought it had the red wine barrel gave it a really nice, well balanced flavor, very fruity, very smooth, and I gave this one a 4. Rev Mark.
Saws.
Yeah, Saws is my stage name. Thank you very much. Yeah, this one is also built on the base beer that I like the most, the Deceit. It's a Saison, but then it has been aged as you have described it so aptly. I do pick up on some of the red wine, red barrel, notes of pepper and some of the maybe some ginger or some, I wouldn't say garlic. Maybe that was what I had earlier before I came in today. It's just kind of coming to the surface right now. Sorry about that.
Coming back around, everyone.
Coming back around. So yeah. So I think that
it exists.
That the barrel aging aspect of it is very subtle. It's very much in the background. I don't, in this case, think it added quite as much as the rum barrel did with the Deceit. But overall, I liked it a lot. So I'm kind of torn, but I'm going to give this one a 3.
Huh.
Good boy, Mike.
So the Punch red wine barrel aged Saison, a few of my tasting notes around this. The first thing that struck me was how sweet this was. A touch of tart wine. It was very soft. I think was probably the main thing that I, kind of thought about this. My Suds rating for this is a 3.
Good Boy Kendall.
I kind of got what I thought was the red wine on the finish, almost kind of like tannic and dry, and a little bit of black pepper, as Reverend Mark mentioned. But it still was kind of bright and crisp in the middle there. I enjoyed it. I got a little bit of tropicalness out of it too. Overall, probably in the middle of the flight for me, but still good enough to be a 4.
I hate to say this, but I really didn't like it all that much. Yeah, I just thought it was like very tannin heavy, and maybe it's because I keep drinking it as it warms up, and it's just getting a little sharper and sharper for me. No offense.
Maybe because you snorted it.
I
did not snort. No. I gave it a 3. And there's that.
Real punch.
I'm sorry. Yes, the punch. The punch is here. Well, great stuff, everyone. And that's going to wrap it up for today's Suds episode. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and you can catch all of our episodes online as well as on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, PRX, and Spreaker, our native media host. iTunes and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sip Suds Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store. Be sure to tap subscribe, and the show will always be on your phone.
We might actually love your feedback. You can send any feedback to me. My stripper name is Galaxy at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
Our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every day at Sip Sud Smoke, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands of other fans on those social media platforms.
I have a feeling we picked up thousands.
Do
of
us a
others
favor
fans.
and take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. Please be gentle.
Or not. Hey, Kendall, please tell us about your blog.
My wife and I blog about the good news of good beer at beermakes3.com, also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, well, that's it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Good old boy, Dave.
My real stripper name is Phoenix.
Of course. Saws.
Saws. Bye-bye.
What are you, Cascade? What are you?
This is Good Old Boy Mike asking you to come back, join us again, in spite of your natural instincts, and keep on sipping.
Good old boy, Kendall.
It was a pleasure being here. Signing off, Mount Hood.
And this is good old gal Julieanna. Thanks so much for joining us, and keep on chuggling.
This has been a one-tan hand production of Sip Suds and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.